Former SAA Technical Board Chairperson and Chartered Accountant Yakhe Kwinana has refused to budge on basic mathematics. Kwinana oversaw the awarding of 2 deals that benefited JM Aviation to the tune of 81 million rand. In turn, she privately got at least 4 million rand from that company. She struggled today to explain this conflict of interest at the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. Michael Apple reports.
Yakhe Kwinana.
At the inquiry for a weekend session. In a nutshell,
you were involved in 2 decisions, one in your capacity at the SART board and one in your capacity at the SAA board, that generated revenue for JM Aviation.
Revenue of 81 million rand in total. In 2016, SAA Technical Management looked to award Air France with a 5-year 1.5 billion rand components tender. But the SAA Technical Board intervened.
Management's rationale for the recommendations that Air France be awarded the tender was not substantive, considering the bidder's resistance to align itself with SART's developmental agenda, i.e. supplier development.
Supplier development was clearly incredibly important. What does it mean?
Maybe I need to Google as to what does that mean.
When pushed for an answer,
a supplier must be able to develop another upcoming supplier.
I will argue in due course that in forming your decision not to award Air France, despite management's recommendation that they should be awarded this tender and rather to go with JM and AAR, was based on information that you obtained when you went on a trip to the US and received various benefits from AAR.
Like being wined and dined by AAR, riding in their private jets and limousines, all while the tender was still to be decided on. Moving to the second windfall for JM Aviation.
JM Aviation also benefited from the fact that SART sold its GPUs, which it was then able to sell on to Swissport.
Swissport then leased those ground power units, or GPUs, right back to SAA Technical at a premium.
I know that you're an accountant, which I am not, so you might be able to assist me.
Let me get my calculator, Chair.
So let's do the math involved in this deal.
JM Aviation bought them for about 3 million, and the next day they could sell them for 9 million. They benefited by the difference, which I'm going to say is about 6 million. Do you accept that?
But Kwinana doesn't.
I'm not an accountant, but no. I think you're right.
Kwinana maintains, like a car, there's depreciation of assets.
There's no depreciation issue. Buy on day 1 at 3 million, sell on day 2 at 9 million.
Obviously, you have made 6 million rand profit.
From June 2016, your company, Zanospark, received money from JM Aviation and people linked to JM Aviation, like Ms. Hendricks, who you understood at the time was an employee.
The problem here is Kwinana was still an SAA employee. She only resigned on the 22nd of August 2016. She'd receive 4.3 million from JM Aviation Director Vuyisile Ntseko.
When were you married?
I don't remember.
Who took some effort to hide the source of the money.
He uses his wife with the name Hendricks to send you the money, deposit the money in Zanospark before you resign from SART. And he then has no difficulty using JM Aviation after you resign from SART.
They were not for bribe and corruption and kickbacks, as you said it before.
If Kwinana's forex trading business, Zanospark, was legitimate, where's its paperwork?
I've got the January statements, Chair.
Yes, but when you give it to us tomorrow, you may have fabricated it.
As for the decisions taken by her board at SAA Technical, she relies on the principle of good old collective responsibility.
I do not sit alone in the board, Chair. Whatever decisions that we do is a board decision.
Super.
Michael Apple, Johannesburg.